Hey, what's up, everyone? Just getting set up right now for office hours. And if you're just joining me now, say hi in chat so I know you're here. Okay. And assuming no one's here, just going to quickly write my little explainer into chat, which you should be able to see now. Cool. We're good. And we're ready to go. All right, so office hours is just for you guys to ask me any questions that you have on your mind for anything academic or non-academic. I'll just be here to make myself available for the next 30 minutes before I move into the members only office hours. Meanwhile, let me just quickly switch over to some word games to kill some time while I wait for your questions. And then after that, if no one's still asking questions, then I'll probably switch over to just like some book reading. All right. Some unusual letters there, but just felt like it. Okay. Actually, with that T, I don't know if I need to bother reusing that T. I need more letters. Okay, there we go. That's that would be a really weird word, but right now it's the first thing that comes to mind, so might as well do it. All right. Alt. Again, welcome to office hours. If you're here, just I'm killing time until I see some questions in chat. Wait, is there a technical issue? No, there isn't. It's just my screen being stupid. So yeah, just you can ask me anything about basically anything, academic or non-academic. Okay, what's up? Oh, is this the same person that I know? I don't remember if that's your, I don't know if that's your handle, but do I know you? Do I actually know you? Okay. Hey, good to see you. Hang on, Grace. Are you a senior this year? I think you're a senior this year, right? So are you done with your? Wait, you told me. Oh no, you did tell me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, you told me that you got a very good result with your college. Yes. Okay. So it just took me a while to remember what happened there, but good to hear that from you. How is senior year going? Let's assume there's a T. There's a if there's a TAL over here. Then we have pedal. We have metal, but we only have the O, so we have to go with a odal. I guess it could be total. That would be annoying. Okay, well, that's a no. This person at your school is bad mouthing you behind your back, and because they're jealous of your success with the SAT and with college applications. So now you're trying to figure out how to deal with this biatch. Is that the idea? Oh my God, I can't believe it was total. Bastards. I mean, what I think in situations like that, give me a sec. Oh, bro, that is a lot of high school. High school is pretty silly. I'm trying to remember high school. I'm trying to. I think the thing to focus on. This is gonna. I'm just gonna zoom out a lot on your situation and focus more on just you as a person. And this applies to anybody, not just you. Uh, and make this kind of more general. And then I think you should be able to figure out maybe a potential way of applying this idea to your life at the more specific level. So I'm going to speak generally. You try to think about it more specifically. Here we go. Every high school student is in a period of actually immense growth, or at least immense potential growth. Every week, every day, even every hour could be an opportunity for growth. And what are you growing in? For now, I'm going to just use the word resources, although there are other words I could put in there. But for this particular talk, I'm going to focus on resources. So you have certain resources, okay? The immediate and obvious resources that most people are talking about when they talk about growth for high school students is like your internal resources, like your talents, your knowledge, your skills. Okay, those are internal resources to you. So when you and let's just stick with the internal resources for now, because this is what we normally talk about when we're talking about high school students or younger adults. You take your knowledge, your skills, your talents, okay, and even if you're not doing something amazing every single day, as long as you're still improving like 1%, like every day, little by little, you'll be surprised that like 1% every day, 1 year later, or 1% every day, 3 years later, or 6 years later, makes you very different from the people next to you. That you're just that much more skilled, that much more knowledgeable, that much more talented than the person next to you, because the person next to you wasn't investing their energy into growing their internal resources 1% every day. So I honestly think when it comes to situations like this, where in the short term, somebody's trying to kind of undermine you or cut you out, I think a lot of times the best way to react is not to really react, to just focus on your growth and just developing your internal resources. Again, 1% every day, and just do what you do. Okay. And, I know that you're interested in art, but it doesn't have to just be art. It could be anything else. Just whatever those skills are, those knowledge, the knowledge domains are, the talents are, right? Just keep developing that every single day. And it'll be him 3 years later, 6 years later, that looks like a fool compared to you, because you're just not distracted. You're not worrying about the nonsense that happens in the short term. Okay, so that's internal resources. That's kind of the more obvious thing that people talk about. I'm going to talk about external resources now. External resources. So again, you're actually in a period of great growth, except weirdly, okay, some of your external resources don't really grow. Okay, external resources are not your skills, not your talents, are not your knowledge. Okay, external resources are like Money is part of it. Social connections, okay, and just like maybe slightly less. Well, no, not slightly. Much harder to quantify things like just the amount of love that you're having, the amount of love that you're receiving, right? That one might feel a little bit less applicable, but I really think it is applicable. Love is really important in life. So, hang on. People and I guess we could also talk about authority, but I don't want to talk about authority yet because if you're a high school student, you're not going to have that much authority. But yeah, we'll start with just money, authority. But really at this point, just relationships, your connections. What's happening right now when somebody makes a group chat to talk about you behind your back, what happens is that person is actually investing energy to decrease your resources, okay? To try to reduce your social opportunities, your relationships. Again, there, I actually think because money and authority is not really that relevant to you, probably, right, at your age, right? These relationships seem very important, right? But I think it's important to remember that no one has a relationship with like 1,000 people in their school, like not significant relationships, right? You have to think about the significant relationships that you do have, the ones that feel like, they matter. Because like the hard truth is that out of 1,000 people, like not only is it that you're just not close to 900 of them, it's that literally 700 of them are just not even worth your time, maybe they're selfish, maybe they're just sort of aggravated, maybe they're just straight up, maybe they take people down, maybe they're just well, I don't want to just say dumb because it could sound extremely judgmental, but the things that they're interested in, right? They don't really know that much about the things that they're interested in, or they don't try very hard about the things they're interested in, or maybe they don't even know what they're interested in, so they have no direction in life, right? Or, there's all sorts of people out of 1,000 people that just are not even worth your time. And I mean, I don't think I've even really covered the whole diversity of completely useless people, right? Like, they're just people. I mean, there's just some people who, and they're not even necessarily bad people, but there's some people who just don't vibe with you, right? The way they talk and the way you talk, the things they're interested in, the things you're interested in. Like, so that's more the neutral middle ground. They're not actually actively negative, but, you just don't really vibe with them, right? So there's so many people that are just not worth your time in the first place. So the question isn't really like, is he successful at his goals? His goals may be to reduce your so-called social resources, right? He might be trying to reduce the number of people that you can interface with. But there's a serious question to be had. Like, does it even matter? Maybe he's only reducing resources that you didn't even care about in the first place, right? Maybe none of those people freaking matter, right? And so I think in this situation, you don't want to focus on whether he's succeeding at his goals. It's actually more important for you to figure out what your goals are, which is, again, going back to what I was talking about with the internal resources. Are you improving your external resources as well? 1% every day, right? Because if you increase your external resources like 1% every day, again, this fool is a guy who's wasting his time trying to manage other people's resources, but you are managing your own, right? And you're making your resources grow 1% every day. And that applies to external resources as well. And that includes just like, hey, having fun with your friends. Having fun with your friends and having like amazing, instead of just like fucking doom scrolling on Instagram for an entire, 3-day weekend, right? What if you guys actually went out to and did something that you've never done before, like farming? Sorry, so I've been recently having some conversation. Anyway, or do like a temple stay or something, something you've never done before, and then those become like core memories, right? And now you're closer to some of those friends, and you've had like some special experiences with those friends, right? So kind of like focusing on what you can do to increase your resources. I think that is the angle that you really should be taking on. Both your internal resources and your external resources, just try to reinvest your time and energy into those. And in the long term, it's going to be the other people who are trying to take you down that end up being kind of fools. Now, going back to your question, or going back to your comment, sorry, I'm seeing your comment. Your comment is that he is making others hate me as well, though. Going back to what I said earlier, I feel like the way you're talking about that is an indication that you're worrying about his success at his aims. But maybe you should just be successful in your aims. And by being successful in your aims, then his success simply doesn't matter, right? Like he might be able to rally, 20 people to kind of dislike you and say some stupid rumors around you. But what about you? Like, what are you going to do, right? Are you going to just wait for shitty life to happen to you? I think, what's the practical outcome? Again, I'm going to say one more time, focus on increasing your resources, okay? Whether they're internal resources or external resources. So are you just going to wait for his shitty plan to actually succeed? There are things I feel like, I don't know about the particulars of your situation. I don't know the particulars of his social network, your social network, like his like sort of cunning, slimy ways versus your cunning and your cleverness, okay? Like I don't really know the situation, right? But at the high level, I think that, let's say it's January 12th right now. Let's say this whole thing lasts for 2 weeks. So January 26th is 2 weeks from now. I think between now and January 26th, if you can just say that during that time, you are still able to increase your resources. Now, I'll be more explicit now. If you're able to just get closer to your friends, right? And even maybe leave positive impressions on people who are not your friends initially, right? Positive impressions on other people that feel like they might matter to you. Then just the power of the positive impressions and the closeness of your friends, like, may outweigh just the power of his sort of negativity. Especially if, again, like I said, especially if he's only succeeding with people that basically don't matter to you, right? Like, there's going to be so many people in high school that just simply don't matter. Like, a year from now, you're just never going to talk to them, right? So, I don't know. I would say focus on, again, yourself and what you can do, and just being a good person and not getting dragged into a stupid, like, shit-slinging battle where you lose friends and he loses friends and you're just comparing who loses more friends. I think that's just kind of a waste of energy. You're going to have a bunch of true friends around you. Focus on them. The people who are not your true friends, the people who sort of like get swayed by some dude making up some bullshit, like they weren't really your true friends in the first place. And you're probably just not going to talk to them anyway. There's going to be cooler people at Cornell. There's going to be better people, more helpful people in the world. Your little high school experience is not the whole world, right? Even though right now it feels like the whole world because it's the only thing away from your parents where you have some freedom. But literally in like 7 months, right, you're going to be a whole new world. And basically the entire world will be open to you away from your parents now. So yeah, I don't want to. I'm gonna cut that sermon. I'm gonna wind this sermon down, but try to think about what that means for you at a practical level. This idea of increasing your own resources, and if it's not too private or if it's not too embarrassing, let me know how you think you can apply that into your life. Meanwhile, and again, if there's anyone that's joining, shortcuts are breaking. Here we go. If there's anyone that's joining, you can ask me any questions that you have about things academic and non-academic. I'm going to be streaming for about 10 more minutes before I switch over to the members only stream. I have to be pretty tight with time today because I have a lot of appointments before I leave Korea. To charm, to romance, to nope. A breakout, a pursuit, to a coin toss. It's a romance, a fiction, a fairy tale. Okay, a fantasy, is that the one? A fiction could be a story. A romance can be a story. A fairy tale can be a story. But a fantasy could be a story. But I feel like an invention. There we go. Oof. But now romance has to go. A fiction, invention, a fairy tale, a fantasy. Oh, okay, it has to be fantasy. Okay. Huh. A charm, a court. By the way, you can ask other questions. You don't have to, if you have other thoughts in mind. I'm going to just focus on this for a bit, and then I'll do a quick personal update before I go. Is breakout a basketball term? A breakout could be a basketball term. Okay, wrong. To court, to romance, to charm, and to pursue. These are things that you do to woo. Yeah, there we go. Reading books and planning your life. Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually really. That's really. It might feel, and just don't feel lonely. I'm sure you have a couple friends that I'm just be super practical about this now. One other thing besides just focusing on yourself, just one very basic thing you can do in this situation is just talk to your friends more, and even just complain to them about what's happening, and just let them know that you're having a hard time, and just get some encouragement from them. Don't just whine for like 4 days straight or or whatever, right? But like do that first, and then and try to focus your energies on something more productive. And when it comes to friends and people, just do fun things with people, right? Like if you, I don't, I get, I'm getting the sense, Grace, that you're not really the most social person, right? Extroverted person. But for me, if I was in a situation like that, I would just like throw a party, you know, like be like, hey everyone, let's all go hang out at this place. You know, I just like kind of pretend this bullshit's not happening, and then I would just sort of be like, hey. Saturday I'm free. I want to do this, and then just like invite a bunch of people there, and then just try to just move my life forward with my own social life, so that this dude's nonsense doesn't really bother me. Again, I'll be here for about 5-ish more minutes, answering any questions that you guys have, and after that, I'll probably have to head over to the members only section of the stream. Asteroids, Sonic the Hedgehog. Video games. Defender is, I think, a video game, and Centipede is also a video game. I think Defender is a game. God damn it. Ah. No. Okay. Okay, now I don't know. A dress code. Bro, I don't even. Asteroids, Comets, Defender, Centipede. Did spinning. All four of these spin? It's like super weird, but I'll try it. One away. Oh, dude, I don't think I can get this. Okay, Grace, good luck with life, and enjoy your spring term. Coin toss. Spinning. Dude, I don't freaking. I don't know, man. Just gonna try it. Okay, I'm done. Video games, dude. I was so right. I was on the right track, but I just didn't know the thing. Coin toss and comets and dress codes and Sonic the Hedgehog has tails. I was kind of close to this idea, but yeah, this is the one I should have known, but I didn't know the Atari games. Annoying. Okay. Breakout Atari. Which game is this? Oh, this is Breakout? Dude. Nuts. Okay. I didn't know the name of this. And Centipede is Atari, yeah. I mean, I know what this is, right? But it's different because it's not Snake, which is, I guess I don't know this game. Yeah, I don't really know that game. Asteroids Atari. All right, guys. So again, I'm gonna invite you to ask me any questions that you have about things academic or non-academic, and I'll give you my best answer and hopefully be helpful. Asteroids, this I remember. This is I'm aging myself, but hell yeah, I remember this game. Classic game. It's actually, yeah, it gives me feelings. Asteroids. Like this image here. Nuts. Okay. And the Asteroids Breakout, and Breakout for sure too. Defender. What's Defender? Okay, so this is Space Invaders basically, right? And then you shoot the thing. Ah, dude, Atari. Man, back in the day, dude. I think if I have a kid, I'll probably teach them. I saw a blog a long time ago about a couple years ago about a guy who may or may not have been a game designer. I don't know if he was a game designer, But this guy who is roughly my age had a kid, and he raised him on video games by actually playing chronologically through the various consoles that existed in time. So the first video games, um, why is my shortcut not working? But the guy's first video games were all like Atari game. Sorry, the kids' first video games were all like Atari games, and then like the NES, and then Super Nintendo and PlayStation. And so they kind of progressed um, through the various game systems from when he was young. And I think maybe there was some sort of rule where they would like the dad would make the kid would only give the new console like every new year or something like that. I don't remember if that was part of the thing or if I just made that up, but that makes sense to me intuitively. And so what happened is the kid, as a result, I mean, this is just a sample size of one, by the way. So this is just this one dude who blogged it, but I believe it. The kid just had a lot more appreciation for like how a game gets designed, and could appreciate like a lot more indie games, and wasn't as distracted with like really nice graphics. Like super realistic graphics didn't really impress the kid as much. Kind of saw the games kind of for the game aspect of it, which I think with not just video games but Hollywood and all these things. Ever since our content has gone global, the the instinct is to go for the lowest common denominator, and so you can make one game and sell it anywhere in the world to as many people as possible. And what are the very base instincts that you can kind of like tap into to make your game sell everywhere? I mean, first of all, get rid of all difficulty in terms of reading, right? Older games had a lot more reading now. We don't really do a lot of reading in video games anymore. Also, make things as sexy as possible. Also, make things as, violent as possible. And have super realistic graphics, and do call outs to favorite characters and other intellectual property, and make the language as dumb as possible. I mean, because the more complicated the language, the more complicated the translations, and you're not going to be able to get lucrative markets abroad. So I do feel like all the big tent productions in the last 10 years have just gotten kind of just uninteresting. Yeah. So it's good to see how as a parent you might be able to like combat that with your own children. And that's a thought I have now thinking about Atari games. All right, with that little ramble out of the way, let's get into the members only section of the stream. I'm gonna go and open up my stream for anyone who wants to support me. Here we go. Until next time, guys, keep on learning, keep on growing. Peace.